I'm Amy the Bunny Lady, and this is my partner Elusive, Ellie for short. High five. Good job. And today we're going to talk about the signs that your rabbit is bored so that you can make changes to make them happy bunny. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We give tips and tricks for how to make sure you have a happy and healthy bunny in your home. So if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscription button and the notification bell next to it so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you're interested, you can check out our merch. I'll leave a link in the description below. I've got lots of cute and funny bunny t-shirt designs along with other merch stuff. So check out the link in the description for that. So the first reason is that your rabbit might just not have enough space. So traditional rabbit cages, those that are sold and marketed towards rabbits, are typically much too small for them. I recommend getting something like a pet playpen instead. That gives your rabbit enough room to hop around and at least be a little bit active during the day when you can't supervise them. You will actually find these in the dog section of most pet stores. So a pet playpen will give your rabbit a lot more space so that they can run around and are less likely to become bored because all they can do is sit around all day. You can even choose to get rid of the enclosure altogether and let your rabbit free roam. That will take some time making sure that your home is fully rabbit proofed and that your rabbit can't get into any trouble. But I do have a video all about free roaming rabbits, so you can check that out if you want to give it a try, because that is a great way to keep your rabbit from getting bored. The second reason that your rabbit might be bored is that they don't get enough toys or enrichment activities. Now sometimes this one can be a little bit of trouble because rabbits can be very picky about their toys. So you don't necessarily need to think of toys as just like the sticks or the wooden blocks or those specific objects that are toys. You can also think of it as ways to get them more involved in their environment. So things like giving them a hay rack and making sure that they have enough hay to forage through. That can also count as like a toy. It's got to be things in their environment that keep them mentally healthy, that keep them interested and keep their lives enriched. You can also give them cardboard or boxes that they can dig into. You can give them actual toys to play with or toss around. You can give them different flavors to taste. Those kinds of things all count as toys or objects for mental enrichment. So that's kind of the other way that if your rabbit doesn't have enough of these types of things, they may end up getting bored. And the other reason that your rabbit might just get bored and act out is because they're not getting enough attention. So rabbits are very social animals. They love interacting with other beings, other rabbits, other people, and it really helps them to stay mentally healthy and prevent them from getting bored all the time. So this means that you want to make sure that you give your rabbit a lot of attention every day. Make sure that you don't just kind of leave them in a corner or forget about them. Go and pet them, go and socialize with them, play with them. And that will make sure that your rabbit is getting enough of that socialization that they do need. So what are the behaviors to look out for to know whether or not your rabbit is in fact bored? One of the main behaviors that you're going to see is actually very annoying. It's when your rabbit's rattling on the bars of their enclosure. That is very common to see with a rabbit who they just want attention, or they just want out because it's not big enough, or they just have nothing else to do, so they're just rattling on the side of their enclosure bars. Now some rabbits will just rattle on the bars anyway, so if it's like the only sign that you see, then don't worry about it. Maybe try hanging some toys on the side so that they chew on that instead of the wire and make a little bit less noise. But a lot of the time it's actually because they're just bored and they just need something to do. Another thing that you might see with rabbits who are bored is very persistent chewing and digging behaviors. Now, rabbits will always chew and dig. That's just rabbit behavior. But if you notice them always going back to the same spot, you might chase them away, take them away, but they always go back to the same spots to dig and chew. This is a sign that they might be pretty bored. Either they just have nothing else to do and they found something fun and they just want to keep doing that thing, or they're using it as an attention-seeking behavior. See, if they learn that if they chew or dig on this thing that they're not supposed to chew on, then you will come over to them and give them attention, then that ends up being a reinforcement that will encourage them to go back and do it because they know that they're going to get more attention from you. That's another reason why they may be very persistent about digging and chewing in a specific spot. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean that your rabbit is bored if it's the only sign that you're seeing, because rabbits do like to dig, rabbits do like to chew, and some of them have just their favorite spots. So take each Take each behavior on this list with a grain of salt and see how many of them your rabbit is exhibiting, because the more of these behaviors that you see in your rabbit, the more likely that they are bored, and you need to make some changes in their environment to give them more to play with and help them be happier. Another behavior that you may see is when your rabbit is just sitting around all day. They don't really seem all that interested in anything. It's important to remember that rabbits in the afternoon is their nap time. So rabbits are a type of animal that's going to be most active in the morning and in the evening, and then they'll nap in the middle of the afternoon and in the middle of the night. So during those times of day, you're not going to see them being very active, and they will just be sitting around. But if they don't seem to care much about playing in the morning and in the evening, they just want to sit around. Even if you open their enclosure door and they can come out at their will and they just sit there and they're not interested, that could be a sign that they're bored. Age is another thing that you want to take into consideration for this one, because as rabbits age, they will have less energy and they will sit around more. So if you have an elderly rabbit who is not as active, I wouldn't worry about it as much as if you have a younger rabbit who does not have as much activity. Another thing you may notice in rabbits who are just bored is over grooming. When rabbits have nothing to do all day except sit around, they don't have enough to play with, they don't have enough space to run around, they'll end up doing the only thing they can, which is groom themselves. Over grooming is an anxious behavior in rabbits, so it's also a way for them to essentially comfort themselves. So if your rabbit is grooming themselves, especially if they're grooming themselves to the point where they're losing hair or losing fur, then that's a sign of boredom. Now, rabbits are very clean animals, so they will be grooming themselves a lot throughout the day. But if they are over grooming, if they're grooming to the point where it's an unhealthy behavior, where they're losing fur, that's when it becomes a sign of boredom or anxiety. If your rabbit is very bored and it's been that way for a while, you may also end up noticing some unexplained aggressive behavior. So when rabbits are bored, they have a chance, like humans, of just getting cranky. They end up lashing out just because they're frustrated because they don't have anything to do. So they lash out at whoever ends up coming near, and if you go to pet them or something, they might swipe at you or even try to bite you. If this is unusual behavior and you don't know why your rabbit would be doing that, then it could be that they are bored. Unexplained aggressive behavior can also be a sign of some kind of health problem. So it is a good idea to get your rabbit checked out by a vet if you notice this symptom. But it could also just be a sign that, they need more playtime, they need more attention, or they need more space. And the other behavior that you may see a lot is attention-seeking behavior. So if your rabbit is bored, they may be constantly trying to come up to you. They might nudge you or nip you to try and get your attention. They might, as I mentioned earlier, kind of go back to the same spot and make trouble. Rattling the bars of their cage or enclosure can also be an attention-seeking behavior because they know that you'll end up coming to them. They may start thumping for attention, but basically whatever they're doing, they're trying to get you to come over to them and give them attention because they're bored and they want you to play with them or pet them or give them something that they need, socialization, toys. These are the signs that your rabbit might be bored and you need to make some changes to their environment so that they can be happier bunnies. And if you think your rabbit is bored and you're looking for ways to entertain them, I do have a video you can check out that goes over how to entertain a rabbit. I also have plenty of other videos about how to find toys your rabbit likes, even if they're the type of rabbit that doesn't like toys. So go ahead and check out my Fun for Your Bun playlist because that has a bunch of different ideas for you if you're looking for ways to entertain your rabbit. And don't forget to sign up for my mailing list. I'll give you tips and tricks for how to take care of your bunny and keep them happy and keep them healthy. I send out a bi-monthly newsletter, and in your first email, you'll get this free PDF that goes over all of the basics of rabbit care so that you have everything that you need to succeed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.